everybody. Welcome back to Press B to Cancel. So good to see everybody. It's your boy GP. So some more time has gone since X2, and yeah, Sigma's dead, but now there's a new bad guy named Dr. Doppler. As a neurocomputer, he's been able to suppress any abnormal behavior in the Reploids and prevent them from going berserk. That doesn't sound good. I don't know. Many of the most advanced Reploids have gathered near their... I wasn't reading the opening part, so I probably missed some stuff. Now there's a town. It's a perfect utopian community. We're not gonna... I don't know. Are we here for the story? If we are, I'm sorry. I've done you a great disservice. We're here to play some games. Blow up some shit. Destroy some Reploids. I don't know, maybe hang out with Zero. I don't know what he's up to lately. Some insects. I like this game more than I lead on. It can be a bit much sometimes, but all in there he is. All in all, it's pretty good. Let me check something real quick. Give me everybody. Let me go to sound. Okay. The volume just seems a little high. So I'm going to just bump it down a little. There we go. Hopefully that's not too terrible for everybody. Okay. So yeah, Zero is back. Seems a little bigger, more blocky, more square. Still badass as ever. Like with X2, we do start off with our dash. And just like with X2, Mega Man has said, you know what? I don't need these upgrades that I got anymore. I'm gonna slough them all off. Remember that time I forgot how to do the perfect Hadouken thing? Yeah. I'm gonna do that, but with that dragon uppercut. So I'm just gonna go back to being Mega Man. Oh, also, I'm gonna slough off all those heart capsules I found. I'm gonna be weak for a minute. Oh, there's a war coming. Ah, fuck. Anyway. So this game is great in that the creators listened, kind of, to the fans. We, for the first time in history, get to play as Zero, which is dope. Zero shoots nonchalantly with his leading hand. He's got multiple levels of power-ups, so there's like 4, 1, 2, and then boom. Such a cool thing, cool, you know, little character song. The issue is, you only get to play as Zero for a very brief amount of time here in this stage. And then he'll tell you, he's like, hey, if you need my help, give me a call. And you can do that, and then you can play as him for one other stage. But I don't think you can play as him as Zero during the boss battle of whatever stage. You can only do it once. And it's not a one-hit kill, like the Hadouken or the Dragon Uppercut thing. It's a 2-hit kill, but the trade-off there is you don't have to have full health. So that's nice. Did I move the wrong way? No, I moved the right way. There we go. I forgot how angles work. Anyway, thank you all for joining me for part 3, the final installment of Sinistar's Happy Birthday video game how-to. He requested Mega Man X. I said 1, 2, or 3. He said 1, 2, and 3. So the last 2 nights I have played Mega Man X1, X2, and now here we are. Sinistar, you are a gentleman, a scholar, a credit to society. And last year, I had to do a blind run of Circus Charlie. I want that to be a bit of an example about how deep my love for you runs. I would say let the X series illustrate how deeply my love runs, but I play this shit for fun all the time. So, I'm kidding. I don't get to play video games anymore, but I'm glad to be doing this here. It's been great fun the last 2 nights. Alright. I like to start off with Tunnel Rhino. So this game has a lot that the first two didn't. Obviously, new bad guys. It does still have 4 sub-tanks, and every stage will have its own heart capsule to increase your, HP. But instead of there being 4 capsules, there are 8 in this game, which is very interesting. 4 blue capsules and 4 red capsules. So the blue capsules work just like every other one. They're upgrades to your systems, leg, arm, chest, and head. And then there are, as mentioned, 4 red capsules. I'll show you where those are. But you can only choose one, and I will show you more about that when we get there. There's where the heart is. We need a special weapon to access it, which we don't have yet. As with X1 and X2, there is a little bit of some backtracking, depending on the order that you play it in. The order that we're playing in, there has to be. But we get our first sub-tank, even though we don't have our first heart yet. Now, where X1 had the ability to alter stages based on the order in which you've, beaten bad guys. For example, when you defeat Chill Penguin, that freezes over Frost Mammoth or Flame Mammoth's stage, yada yada. This is something similar, at least with this stage. I'm not sure with the others, where if you die before you get to Tunnel Rhino, before the boss fight, if you lose a life, Tunnel Rhino's patterns will change, and I believe he becomes a bit more difficult. I'm not really sure what their logic is there with that, If you're struggling with the stage, we're going to make the boss fight harder. So there's another secret right up there, which, again, we don't have the weapon to access. Maybe the logic was, if they died in the stage, maybe they respawned halfway through, so they only have to get through half the stage, so we should make the boss harder. I don't know. This is just the worst mid-stage fight. Do that pattern. Try to attack me with that pointy belly button you got. Like Charles Xavier, he's got the wheels. Like Juggernaut, he's got that helmet. It's the best of both worlds. There we are. Oh, guys, gals. I do love playing video games in front of a camera while talking. I've missed it. So yeah, this stage, as a first stage, does get a little dicey from time to time. It can be... It's not the easiest. But the benefits are there with the boss battle, and then, like I said, getting that sub-tank right away. It's nice. I think I used to... Oh, shit. I think I used to do the ice baddie in this one, the Blizzard Buffalo or whatever. And I forget why I don't do that way now. Like, what did I gain from... Oh, no, I know what it is. Never mind. I'll show you. Tunnel Rhino has a very useful special weapon. Whenever you beat him, your weapon power-up is pretty useful, is a good word for it. This guy can be tough because, shit, like that. He'll typically just go all the way left to all the way right. Goalpost to goalpost, but every now and then... Shit. Okay, make up your mind, dude. I've never seen him switch direction that many times. What am I doing that's making him change direction? Fuck. Oh, okay. Is it because I'm not on the wall at the moment he passes a certain point? This is bizarre. I've never seen him change direction that many times. And then he goes all mushrooms. Psychedelic. There we go. It's been a good day. Work was fine. We had Chinese food for dinner, which is a personal, I don't say favorite, but it's up there. Wife's good, kids are good, and now I'm here with you all. This is great. Celebrating my good friend and co-host of Press Me to Cancel, Sinistar. So now we will move on to the Sinistar stage, which we call that because it's an ice level. And he very famously said something about, gosh darn, every ice level ever? Something like that. We actually don't need to watch the entire opening for those, so we're going to skip that. Really good soundtrack, again, following in the great traditions of X1 and X2. Alright, so here is the only reason I fight Tunnel Rhino first. That's his little extra weapon, and there are these giant blocks that you can either defeat with those or a ride armor, which we don't have access to yet. Oh god. Okay. So if you hit a slanted ice patch, you're done. You cannot advance anymore in that. So, in order to be like completionist mode in this game, not only do you have to get all 8 of the heart tanks, not only do you have to get all 4 of the sub tanks, you have to collect 4 ride armor chips. If you remember, there have been ride armors or carrier mechs or whatever you want to call them in X1 and X2. Well, they have them here in X3, but they have 4 different versions, and you don't really ever need them, except for few points you do, but not enough to really make them worth it. So you got to collect those. On top of that, there is, well, I'll explain it as we go. I don't want to give away too much. But yes, Sigma is dead. Dr. Doppler is, I guess, a philanthropist, unless you're watching Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Real ones get that. Anyway. So big twist at the end there with Doppler. I'm not going to say much more, but he's the bad guy. Oh, shit. This stage sucks. Not a fan of the ice levels. In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, gosh darn, every ice level ever. Just like my friend used to say. And still says. And then the worst of the Dr. Light musics from the trilogy. I still don't know why they changed it. That Dr. Light song from X1, Straight Beeves. So we can do that, and now we can dash upwards, which is pretty cool. So we got the mid-air dash like we had in 2, and now we can go straight up, which I think is, pretty cool. It's an extra layer of things that you can do. Oh, fuck. It's an extra thing that you can do. It comes in handy from time to time, but certainly not terribly often. But even though we died, we got to keep the upgrade, which is nice. And we can start recollecting some power-ups for our sub-tanks. What was that? Okay. So then there is the second of our 4 sub-tanks. Got a good start. We've only done, a stage and a half. We've got 2 sub-tanks and a leg upgrade. I'll take it. And then, not that I need to do this, but I'm going to do it for safety's sake, is collect that. There is a way to defeat the baddie on this stage pretty gosh darn easily with the Mega Buster. I'm going to see if I can remember how to do it. It's a timing thing. I don't remember if it is a spatial thing. But this guy goes coast to coast, left to right fairly often, charging at you, trying to pick you up to slam you into a wall, which does a tremendous amount of damage. He'll throw ice at you. Okay, so that didn't work. After he runs into the wall, he'll turn around. Damn it. I apparently don't remember the rhythm. But if you kind of like dash jump in front of him, he'll turn around and go right back into the wall, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so he did that first pattern of just chasing me. He did that quite a bit. Okay. So if you get hit by that, you're just frozen in like an ice block for a while. And you have to button mash to try to escape it before he comes and runs through you. Which again, this guy does a tremendous amount of damage. So whenever possible, you want to avoid getting hit by the charging buffalo. There we are. Not a flawless victory, I don't think, but still a swift and thorough defeat. So what do you guys and gals think of the X trilogy? Have you enjoyed watching this playthrough in celebration of our good friend Sinistar? Or, yeah, has this sucked and been pointless? Please let us know in the comments below. And if you are not yet following Press B to Cancel, please do so. All right, exposition dump. Just like we had in X2. After 2 bosses, we do this. Doppler. He's a Maverick Hunter I failed to catch last time? I had no idea he's so powerful. Yes. Giant eyeball wired in the back there. That's pretty cool. So then there's these 2 guys. Where the last time we had those 3 dudes, Violin, Surges, and Agile, we got these 2 jabronis. Bring that Maverick Hunter to me, alive if possible. Their names are Bit and Bite, because they're cute. Affirmative, Dr. Doppler. That means yes in robot speak. In the future, we do not say yes, we say affirmative. Yes, affirmative. Mysterious Maverick. Who the fuck could that be? Alive, Dr. Doppler? You're too kind. Watch your mouth, or I'll put you back where I found you. Even with your enhancements, you're still no match for me. Thanks for the upgrade, Doctor, but I have a score to settle. And I will find a way. Whatever. Who could that mystery Maverick be? Fine. Just make sure you do it. Doppler, he's gone. He can't hear you. He deuced. He's gone. Who are you talking to? You hate to see the deterioration of the mental capacities. Okay, so who's next? We got that. Who's weak to ice? It's the seahorse, but we're not going to do that yet. Yes, we are going to defy convention and go fight Neon Tiger, which is a pretty cool baddie. He seems to have found the Wolverine claws, or Vega claws, from Sigma in X2. So you'll get to see him in all his glory when we get to him at the end of the stage. This is one of the more difficult boss battles, especially if you're going into it without the proper weapon, which is us. We're doing this with our X-Buster. There's one of the few times that you can use that up dash and it matters. And you don't have to if you are patient, but I decided that was unintentional. For the record, I had no idea that thing was there. That was a very, very lucky land. I think dash lemons are a thing in this one as well. I mean, obviously you can dash and shoot. I think they still do a little bit of extra damage, but not much. Again, the wildly versatile tunnel rhino drills, thank you. And then we can't get up to there unless we have the boots. So there's another up dash. And that one was important. You have to have that to be able to get this upgrade. So far as I know. And this is for the X-Buster. Now, I'm not as big of a fan of this one as I was the Buster upgrade in 2. It's not bad, but there's this weird lag. So with that first shot, it hits, the target and then breaks into like these 2 other kind of OP'd beams or whatever that are pretty much stronger than they should be. I don't know how to explain it. but it's one of those multi-stage shots, and you can fire one like that. There you go. There's a green and an orange, and you can fire them and then hold on to the next one like I just tried to and failed, or you can fire them both, and if they intersect in the air after you fire them, they'll make a bigger explosion. So conceptually, it's pretty cool, but the whole thing takes a while. First, you got to charge it, then you got to, depending on the situation, do you want to use one then the other, or let them both go? So it's a mess. I don't care for it. Yeah, so that took so long because if you don't have them like intersect and explode, they're just kind of two charged shots that take way too long to process. It's better just a button mash if you're going to be close. Sorry, my thoughts are like trailing off as I'm going. Okay, so here's Bit. Now, I was saying earlier, I don't want to say too much about later on, but if we beat Bit and if we beat Bite using the weapons they're weak to, then that will alter the end of the game with some boss fights there. Specifically one boss fight. So the way I like to do it is to defeat one of them with their weakness and the other without. That way you have to kind of you'll see it when you get there. The other thing that's optional is that mysterious Maverick. I think there's 2, maybe 3 areas in which you can access the little special stage. Shit. To get to him, I always recommend defeating the Mystery Maverick, as the rewards are well worth it. But I think you do have to also dispose of the Mystery Maverick using their weakness. So there's a lot to know and a lot of if-then and thought trees. So there, we went ahead and destroyed Bit using the ice weapon, which is their weakness. Got the nice blue explosion. You know what would be cool if they ever went... Well, everybody knows these games, but it would be cool is if they ever remastered these. If you defeated a boss with not their weakness, the explosion is like red and orange. But if you defeat them with their explosion or with their weakness, then they have the blue explosion. That'd be a silly little detail, but it'd be a cool little silly detail. Alright, now I do not like to use the charge shot. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to. Like I said, and if we have to die once, we can afford that, that's okay. This is the tough fight though. This is one of the tougher ones in the game. The thing is, this is a kind of quick boss, like, they're very agile, they move a lot, and so using the charge shot, I'm not a huge fan. Shit. Not looking good for us on this run. Oops. Don't ever jump the first time. Yeah. That's alright, we got about 55% or 45% done with that fight, so... And we didn't use the sub-tank energy that we have, so we're gonna be alright. We can do this. What? That was horribly stupid. Oh my god. I'm taking copious damage already. Copious, I say. Oh, and I've been charging. God dang it. It's not looking good. There may be hope. There may yet still be hope. Yeah, kids, just get in with the dash lemons or the regular lemons. Tigers don't like citrus. I don't know that as a fact, though. I know that only as a joke. Alright, so we did that one out of sequence so that we can get the arm upgrade. Who's next? What do we want next? Tiger. Next is Gravity Beetle? We'll do that. Which, this is a really cool stage and a horribly, ridiculously stupid boss. And likely one of the easiest boss fights in the entirety of the X trilogy. I miss my Sting Chameleon invisibility. That's what I miss. Okay. So we haven't defeated the boss yet that will remove those carts. We don't have a way to destroy them, I don't think. Although I don't think I've ever tried. Maybe there is a weapon that we can use to destroy the blocks. I don't know. As of right now, I can't. So I'll have to come back and redo just that stage opener to, you know, finish out the completionist. So there's... That was, if you look down at the bottom, the first of the heavy armor or the mech suits, the right armors, the first of those 4 chips. It's F, which I think stands for frog. I don't think they're all animal, but I know there's a frog, there's a hawk, and that's all I can recall at the moment. And really, once you get the hawk, that serves all the purposes that you need. But anyway, this was, I complained about this game. I don't really even want to say complain, but usually if I'm talking about the X trilogy, this is the one I gripe about the most, because it's just kind of a victim of its own indulgence. There's just so many things, and so many variables, and so many ways to or not to do something. It's hard to know which way is the actual completionist way. I like to think the way that we're doing it would be that. So, okay, there's these little areas. Oh, and this is where you would get your, or utilize your frog armor or hawk or whatever the ride mechs are. You can't activate them until you've found the first one, though. Once you get like the plain Jane standard one, then you can access those. So again, you can do a lot with the leg vertical boost upgrade in this game. There's not a ton that's required. We've already seen it in like being put to good use a couple times, but really I think it's mostly just for speedrunners to abuse and utilize. All right, you guys ready? I could blindfold this one, I think, but I'm not going to. That would make me pomp his ass. And if there's anything I can't stand, it's being pompous. And here's the thing. I don't know that I've ever beaten Gravity Beetle without his weapon that he's weak to. Maybe he's a tough fight without it, but... it's so cheesable. Why not? Now, that said, for as shitty of a boss battle as that is, the weapon we get from Gravity Beetle is pretty unique and pretty cool and pretty fun. So my dislike for that character ends with just how easy and simple he is to beat. So after that, we are going to come here to the Wasp. The Wasp. Or Hornet, right? I forget his name. Not important. This one's got a cool soundtrack to it. Oh, no, it doesn't. This is the one I don't like. I was thinking of the latest stage. This one, I don't know. It's not bad, I suppose. So there's another one of those platforms. And if we had all the proper right armors, we could make that jump. Which I think what I'll do, just to kind of explain how the game works and show where everything is at, since this is quote-unquote a tutorial, or it is a quote-unquote tutorial, I should probably show where everything's at. So I'll make fast work of it, but there's some really cool secret areas in this game. And so far, we haven't been able to get to many of them. That'll be alright. And then bringing back from X2, wireframes, which I enjoy. I think it's very cool. We got the compass fight. What? Nice. If only I had the wire weapon. In my headcanon, this stage is a continuation of Overdrive Ostrich's stage. Yes, I thought everybody should know that. Again, the versatile drill. Now here's something that's pretty cool. Instead of collecting a chip, we actually find the right armor, which is cool. And then if you pause, you can see that instead of just having the F chip, we also have the N chip, which I know there is a name for this. I always thought it was just like, I forget what I thought it was called. There's the N, the F, the H, and I forget. It's been too long. So yeah, the chip was sitting inside of the right armor, and now that we've collected this one, we have access to use those pads. And that's one big benefit of doing this stage next. The other is we have the weakness for the Hornet, so that's nice. Are we already at the boss battle? Is that the whole... Okay. There's still a little bit more to go. The stages in 3 are noticeably longer than the other ones. Stages like this, I think, actually have 2 of those little mini-boss rooms, depending on, you know, if you fight Bit or Bite, and then... anyway. So yeah, the stage design in this game quite a bit more in-depth and lengthy than the previous 2 iterations. Or installments, not iterations. Iterations would mean they were all the same game, just redone, right? Let's see. Gravity well. I will use a regular gravity well, and then I'll show you the charge shot. The charge shot's pretty cool. It's a gravity well. That's dope. And it messes with the wasp, which is cool also. And then there's the charged version. Watch the wasp, the big one. There you go. A cool little character design thing with the wasp, or the hornet, is he's got a lower thorax, or abdomen, filled with, like, you know, from what we can see, little eggs or little balls. But those are, of course, the tiny wasps or hornets that they spit out. Anyway, I always thought that was a pretty cool design. And without the gravity well weapon, this is a pretty tough fight. Like, 2x3's credit for the number of things there are jam-packed or shoehorned into there. The stage design, though it's long, is pretty cool in most of these stages. And then the boss fights without their weapons are considerably more difficult than the other ones. I feel bad that I don't remember the name of that bad guy, though. Alright, so now we've got... I think we're going to go do Volt Catfish next. We've got that. We've got that. Let's do it. Volt catfish. Yeah. Okay. That's right. For all of you who have been waiting for there to be better representation of catfish in video games, I present to you X3. So this is a pretty lengthy stage as well, not just for the stage itself, but this little hidden area. This is not one of the power-up capsules. This is a teleporter that brings us to this weird little derelict sewer-looking place. And I don't know what mechanic or what triggers this to be active or inactive. I feel like I've played this before in a different sequence where the elevator was active. Hey, here's a question to bake your noodle. Okay, watch this. As I climb, see how that one chunk hit that platform to my right? How did it do that when there should be another platform right there stopping it? That's right, the platform does not exist if you are not physically looking at it. I feel like there's a funny absentee father joke in there, but I don't think I should make it. The mystery maverick is Vile. Vile, Zero and I destroyed you years ago. It was Monday, but that's fine. Today's Wednesday. This factory is set to blow in a matter of minutes. Until then, whatever. So, the right armor is slightly weak to this weapon. Vile also is slightly weak to this weapon. Slightly weak. So I'm not going to use too much of it on him. And this is painfully tedious. Oops, I missed. This is the entirety of this fight. Now, I don't remember if I have to destroy this thing with its weakness, so I will switch back with 1 or 2 shots just to dispose of it. And now we take on Vile for the first time. 4th time, 3rd time, however many times. So he's weak to this, and his pattern is pretty much identical to what it was in X1. He learned nothing in death. Don't know why my button for jump didn't engage, but that's okay. Okay, and that's Vile. Don't think this is the end, X. I will haunt you until the day you die. I don't remember coming across them again. So whoever's developing X12 or 13, maybe get on that. I don't know. Now, I will tell you this about Vile. During the brief run of the PSP, I think it was the PSP or maybe the Vita. I don't know. I think it was the PSP. There were those discs that had the games on them, and then you also could buy like the movie discs, right? That was the PSP. Anyway, there was a version of Mega Man X called Mega Man X Maverick Hunter, and it was a port with updated 3D graphics, much in the way they redid or did a 3D remake for Final Fantasy IV or 3. They did that for Mega Man X, and it was called Maverick Hunter. Anyway, there was an alternate mode in Maverick Hunter where you could play as Vile through the entire, like, first 80% of the game. And then, of course, you don't have to fight Sigma because you were working for Sigma, if I remember right. So at a certain point, you just beat the game, and it's a lot earlier and shorter of a game than X was. But the capsules were hidden in different places. He had different power-ups. It was very, very cool. That I did enjoy. Alright, so now that we've dispatched Vile, we can go back and do the stage. And I'm sorry, I'm being flippant, and I'm like, oh my god, Mystery Maverick was Vile. Did anybody not know that? Like, was anybody like, oh my god, what? I'm sorry if you were and if I ruined it. I'm sorry if my sarcasm was rude in that way. So. I don't mind my sarcasm being rude, but I want it to be in the way that I intend. So we have the heart. Gravity well. This is a pretty cool little hidden area. I think this is super cool. This is good game design, stage design. Because with the exception of the Blast Hornet, that was their name. With the exception of Blast Hornet, you don't really need to use Gravity Well too often. So it's cool that you could use it in a way that would affect or impact the stage. I always appreciated that. Okay. So there is my least favorite of the armor upgrades, because now anytime X takes damage in the game, he will blink furiously light, white, and blue. Light, blue, and white, that's the one. My knuckles are itching, and I'm afraid I'm having some sort of allergic reaction to my dinner. Nice to meet you, I'm Bite. So I beat Bit with his weakness. So I will I'll go to town on this guy. But then I will beat him with the X-Buster. So this is cool. He throws these like gravity discs onto the wall, and it makes it harder to cling to the wall. It's a cool little weapon. Too bad that's really all he does. Now, if he does hit you, he like winds up and then punches you into the ceiling. It's pretty cool looking. Didn't expect you had this much power. I've lost this time, but words. So if you notice, he like blinked out. He teleported out of the room, whereas Bit exploded. So if you beat them with their weakness, they explode. If you don't, they phase out. There's a mosquito sitting atop my I am itchy. Sitting atop the camera. I want to smack it, but I don't want to move the camera. Alright, so here we go. This is what we need. Put away the proboscis. Okay. Boom. Hidden area. And the only way to access that is with the right armor. It's the only thing heavy enough to, bust through. And so now we have the third one. No, that was the sub-tank. We now have all 4 sub-tanks. I thought there was a hidden ride armor down there. That's my bad. I think the stage is almost done. I think we're getting close to the end part. Also, it's mid-September. Why do I have a mosquito in the room? Okay. I'm pretty sure this is the boss fight. And I know what you're thinking, GP, why the fuck are you not playing these games before you stream them or record them? And that's a good point. I have been playing Mega Man X, as well as the first 6 Mega Man games, off and on, but I do it in that damage randomizer, which you've heard me talk a lot about. So, I've played the game, but never in a way that I've just played it all the way through. At least not in the last couple of years. It's just been the randomizer. Whenever you take damage, you go to a different game in a different spot. So, my memory of the stage layout is not 100% accurate, but there are some hallmarks. And so now we have, 3 of the 4 upgrades. We have everything except the helmet. We have the armor, which gives us that horrible blinking blue and white. We've got the terribly slow arm upgrade, and then we've got the decently usable leg dash. Well, never mind. I'm going to bite my tongue. And I think we're about halfway done. We got a couple boss fights left, and then Sigma stages go pretty quick in this game. Okay. Yeah, I think now we're going to do Crush Crawfish. Another one of the tougher battles if you don't have their weakness, which I believe we do. This is a pretty fun stage, too. I like the layout of this one. This one is pretty fun. The areas, the secret areas in this one are pretty cool also. So the way that we had a really interesting powered up gravity well, Volt Catfish's power up right there. Super dope. It's a ground pound. Who doesn't love that? There's the Hawk Ride armor. And what we're going to do is we're just going to use it immediately. Right here. Alright, super cool, right? Super dope. So yeah, the Hawk armor can dash and fly, and he's got these cool little double rocket launchers. So earlier I mentioned each stage has a capsule, either red or blue. Here is the first of the red capsules. Pretty dope, right? Dr. Light, enter this capsule X. Install this body chip, and this chip will increase your defenses, your defensive ability. Your shield will be enhanced, and you will receive even less damage. So where the normal shield saves us, I think, 50% damage, this would take it down to basically 25% of what it was. Now, here's the catch. The red capsules, even though there's 4 of them, one upgrade for each, regular body part upgrade, you can only pick one of them. So, but now you know where the body enhancement is. I will go back and show you where the other 3 are. And then you'll see what we choose to do with that. Alright, now normally here, if you haven't beaten Vile, this is a false floor, and you'll fall through, and that'll take you to the teleporter to go fight Vile. So those are the only 2 Vile teleportation things that I remember. If there's a 3rd one or a 4th one, I don't know where they are. Or I don't recall where they are, but I think those are the only 2. Have we gotten any extra lives since we died those couple of times? I don't know. Do we need them? No. Are we getting them? Yes. Again, I think probably the most useful weapon in this game has to be the drills. Now I used to think you had to hit like this pressure plate right there, but no, you can shoot any part of that wall and it'll explode. I don't know why they put that there, and I don't know if you noticed that, but now this is where we came in. The whole room is sideways. I don't know what the story is there. But apparently we're underwater now, so that's great. And then I don't want to use the charge shot on this guy. There is a way to one-hit kill this dude. I don't know what it is. I've seen it on speedruns, and it is super cool, but I've never taken the time to learn it. And now I'm wishing I had. Boom. That was a cool way to beat him. So that actually dealt double damage. Once when you hit the ground, the other when the ball of electricity runs into his face. I think the mosquito may have been in my water. mosquito may have been in that water. What am I missing here? What? Okay, let's go do this. Now, if you remember, there were some unaccessible or inaccessible locations in Tunnel Rhino's stage when we started the game. We're going to go back and collect those items. Okay. So cool. The issue, the bad thing about that weapon is X holds his superhero pose way too long, and if there's an enemy that is not impacted or frozen by that attack, you are wide open to taking damage. Do this shit again? Okay. So with the longer stage design, inevitably you're going to have some secrets or power-ups that are buried way deep in the stage. I always prefer it whenever you have to redo a stage to get a secret. I always prefer that the secret is at the front part of the stage. But nobody consulted me when developing this game. It shows, and that's alright. Here's together. And there's the fourth of the blue capsules. Now, I have spent the last 2 days playing through these games and explaining why the helmet upgrades suck. Literally, the other three... Why did I say literally? The other three upgrades in each version of the game serve a purpose, even if it's not a great one. Like X2's armor upgrade. Sure, maybe it stops the damage a little bit, but it also gives you a weapon you're never going to use again. But this will give you, at the beginning of each level, a little map readout in wireframe form like you just saw. And when there are secrets still left uncovered in any given stage, the block from that wireframe will be red or pink or something like that. And so you know that there's still something in that stage to go get. Also, when you go to a stage, you see here the letters are pink. It tells you what you have not gotten in the stage yet. The life up, the change K, which is the right armor, and then a question mark, which is one of the red upgrade tubes. So here we've got everything. There we've got everything. We got to go back to get his heart. Got it. Got it. Got it. So let's see if the heart capsule is available to us yet. So there's the two things. We will see if the maybe not. Maybe we have to beat. Okay, no, it's open. So here's what we're gonna do. There are 2 secrets left in the stage. Since I'm doing this as a tutorial and wanting to do as close to completionist as possible for X, come on, what the hell? I will show you where both of those are. One you've already seen, it's... Okay. Right here, the heart capsule. The other thing that we're missing is the question mark capsule, or the pink or red capsule, whatever you want to call it. So let's fly through this real quick and I'll show you where that's at, in case you ever want to get that one. Also, like I said, the secret little hidden tunnels to get these red capsules, they're fun little areas to find. Also, after a certain point in the game, Mega Man can climb ladders super fast. Also, why am I still blinking like I've got a charge shot on deck? Look at that. That's cool. Let's see. Can I get rid of that, though? I hate that shield so much. So no, it's just going to stick with me. What if I charge a shot? Okay, no, now it's gone. Slow ass elevators. You know, Sinistar, I'm kind of shocked. Well, no, I'm not. Never mind. Never mind. I think in my heart I had hoped you would, had requested I would play Portal for your birthday. But then I remembered, no, you're like the aficionado of Portal. Why would you want me to play Portal? You saw me do the blind runs. You know there's absolutely nothing I can... No wisdom or education I can shine on the playthrough of Portal. I think in my heart and my mind, I just associate you and Sinstress with Portal. Because you guys gifted me that... No, come on. Which you'll be happy to hear my kids love playing Portal. I introduced them to it a number of months ago, and they adore it. It's in my estimation the best, one of the best, if not the best, puzzle game ever designed and concocted. Okay, so here we are, and then you need the armor, and there we go. Okay, what's this one? Enter this capsule X. Install this arm chip. This will increase your attacking abilities. The chip allows damage to your system to be transformed and charged as weapons energy. You'll be able to use it to rapidly shoot charged shots. So remember, your system can only handle one of the 4 enhancement chips. We'll bypass that one. So let's see, that's 2 of the 4 pink capsules, red capsules. The other one is in Seahorse. What are we missing? Where's the 4th one? We just did that one. We got that one. This one. I'll show you where the 3rd of the 4 hidden capsules are, and then we'll move on to beating the rest of the game. Should be done before too long. So yeah, the first 30% of the stage, we'll take it. Not too terribly deep in there. Again with the slow-ass elevators. I think we have to use the hawk again. So I guess really these right armors are only useful to get that one sub-tank from Catfish, and then to access the hidden capsules. I guess they're all hidden, but you know what I mean, the pink one. And there we are. That's all it is. Dr. Light, enter this one. Install this energy chip. This chip will allow you to recover energy. So this is the helmet or the head upgrade. Stand still and your energy level will slowly increase. Remember, your system can only handle 1 of 4. So if this one... No. So, yeah. This is the helmeting upgrade. We're going to forego that one as well. But basically, if you just stand still for 5 minutes, eventually your health will tick up enough that you'll fill up all of your sub-tanks. So it looks like we have everything. We just need to do this final stage, and we can go find... I keep seeing Sigma. I'm lying. That was the first 2. This one is Dr. Doppler. Force of habit. Force of habit. Alright, so there's those 3 items. The heart, the 4th right armor chip, and then the 4th red capsule. We need that. We're going to be alright. And I think of all of the hidden capsules, the 4 pink capsules, the coolest hidden location is in this stage. So I'm excited to show you that. And looks like we have all of the hearts now. So no more hearts to get. That's good. So much in the way that Gravity Beetle was terribly easy to defeat since we have his weakness, so too is Toxic Seahorse. Okay, here we're going to use the frog. I don't know if it's actually the frog, but that's what I call it. I think it's the one right armor that will work underwater. It's terribly obnoxious. But it works underwater. It shoots out these cute little missiles. And then if you jump... Oh, fuck. Okay, hold on. We'll go back and get that. If you jump, you can, like, mosey? I don't know how to explain it. So if you use your power-up crystal, or, sorry, ice, it makes, like, a floaty turd that you can ride to the top. Floaty turja. Now we have the cape, which I think is the Kaiser. If I remember that, that's... They call it the Kaiser Ride Armor. I could be mistaken, but that's what I think I remember reading either in like a Nintendo Power or some such thing. And it looks pretty cool. It's basically like a ball and chain sort of thing, if I remember right. But again, you really don't need any of these. Unless you want to, I mean, to get that sub-tank, we needed the one, but... In my headcanon, again, I like to think that the developer of the game had like a brother... God dang it! Had like a brother-in-law that was kind of an idiot, but he promised his sister, you know, his brother-in-law's wife, that he would let his brother work on something in the game. So they're like, yeah, let's just make 4 right armors. Why the hell not? Let's give it to Joey. Also, these right armor pads that I have to stand in to access are in the middle of a bad guy's stage. Why not just remove those? Are they able to use it for something? How can I want to get the little mosey thing, because the little arms where the rockets come out of, like, it's cute. It's adorable. Now you guys aren't going to believe me, and you're not going to know how awesome it is. Ugh. Okay, so the reason we need the right armor here, you can see those little bubbles? Yeah, we had to destroy those fans. If you didn't do that, there's no way for Mega Man to access the area so far to the right. And here's the 4th one. Enter this capsule, install this leg chip. So basically with this you can dash twice in a row. In a single jump you can dash vertically or horizontally twice. Or horizontally, and then vertically, or vertically and then horizontally like I just did there. So, anyway, this lower half is the path that you normally have to traverse. Easy. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Although you did damage me once, which I think is the first in a decade. So well done. Well done. You can tell it's been a few years since I've streamed because my voice is starting to go, and it's been 3 days. And each of these little recordings are an hour and a half at most. I think today will be the longest of the 3, which makes sense since this is the longest of the X games. I think we were, what are we at now? About an hour 5? So yeah, I think it took us about an hour 5 to get through X1. So, and we haven't even started the Sigma stages or Doppler stages. Oof. But again, we can fly through those relatively quickly. And then let's see, for toxic we need this, okay. So, I mean that's, I think with 1 or 2 exceptions, all the secrets in the game. Like I said, there's no Hadouken, there's no flaming uppercut. We haven't used Zero, we haven't needed to. We did Vile, we did Bit and Bite. I showed you all 8 of the capsules. there's not much left to do but to destroy Doppler and call it a day. Why am I still drinking that water? Is anybody else noticing I'm still drinking that water? That was horrible. I hope that mosquito only got me, otherwise... Moving on to Doppler. Meeting with Dr. Kane. Any problems, Dr. Kane? I pulled some memory chicks from the Mavericks controlled by Dr. Doppler. I analyzed them and found out that Dr. Doppler is trying to create a powerful new battle body by collecting the special abilities from the latest breed of Reploids. Battle body? First I thought Dr. Doppler was trying to create it for himself, sure. But the information indicates that he will not be able to interface with it. So it must be for someone else. Interesting. Sigma? Can he still be alive? Yeah, he can. I will go ahead and fast forward through the rest of that and give everyone a moment to pick up their collective jaw from the ground. And then one last quick round of checks. Got it. Got it. Got it. So here's the thing. If they do ever like a remaster or a remake or whatever for X1, 2, and 3, it would be great if they would add that ability to all of their helmet upgrades. The helmet upgrade in 2 is stupid because there's no blocks to break with your head, you know, like there was in 1. It just shows you where... Well, I'm not even going to discuss it because you guys heard me bitch about it yesterday, and I don't want you to think I complain too much. So, yeah, anyway, the thing about this is it's cool if you are a new player to the game and don't know where all the secrets are, then yes, this is a very useful helmet. But if you've played the game before or enough to know where things are, it doesn't serve much of a purpose other than to triple check your work before going into the final stages. But it would be cool if they just, you know, for one, you would have to, if you remastered it, you would have to keep the block breaking component, you know. But add the little checklists. That really was a stroke of genius for whoever was in charge of, you know, the upgrades. Not Joey. He did the right armor. And he nailed it. Sorry, that dialogue was just X and Zero saying, hey, I'll take care of this guy. You go ahead and try to stop the ceiling from collapsing. Was that 3 hits, 4 hits? The thing is weak to acid. X, there's an army of powerful Mavericks in Dr. Doppler's lab. They've been modified by Doppler into war machines, so be careful. That's Don Cheadle. Not a scroll. Okay. We didn't get any of those pink capsule upgrades. Because if you forego all of them, you get this 5th one. Enter this capsule X, install this chip to enhance all of your parts. Giggity. Situation should now be improved. Good luck, X. But my least favorite thing about this, but now we are completely OP'd, we now have the gold armor, which I think looks horrible. I would much rather... See, so there's the double jump. If we stand still for a minute... There's that. Let's see. Here is the instantly charged shots. So whenever we take damage, that stores that damage into a charge shot, which we can then turn around and use on a bad guy instead of having to charge it up through those 4 or whatever different colors. So that's pretty useful. And then if I ever take damage again, you'll see my shield is no longer blue and white. It blinks red and white, or pink and white. Alright, so here is the bit bite refight. But Bite's the only one left because I destroyed his young friend with, or his tiny friend with his weakness. So now they've combined their parts. Were they married? Did I may be the bad guy here. But yeah, file that under the subreddit, Am I the Asshole? Sure, Mega Man destroyed one of the two people in that relationship. And sure, the survivor has combined their body parts with the decedent's. Is that romantic? Yes. In a body horror romantic sort of way. Yeah. I'd read that book. Okay, so that was the first of the Doppler stages. Here's the second. We are now OP'd as fuck. And I think we just have like 2 or 3 stages left. This stage is actually incredibly hard on the damage randomizer, because there are so many of these like cliffs where you have to be here and then try to avoid the taking damage, because the taking damage, you know, knocks you back a little bit. And if you're doing a damage randomizer, it blows. Okay. So let's see if I remember this. As I mentioned, we haven't summoned Zero yet. So let's do that now. X, I'm on my way. Period. Charge up his shot so we can use his Sword of Justice. Cool, beat him, not a big deal. Zero, look out! It's so insulting, I wish they would have just made it a banana peel. Like, if you call on Zero at this point, you take a few steps, oh my god, it's a banana peel, and he dies. What was that explosion, Zero? Are you okay? Yes, Mega Man. Sorry, X, I failed. It seems my power generator is damaged. Nonsense, nonsense, bullshit. Order a new one from Amazon. Not a sponsor. You better take my beam, Sabre. Crush them all, X. You're our last hope. So cool. Now, not only do I have double upgrades for all of my component parts, I also now have, boom, Zero's Beam Saber. And, okay, it's not like the Hadouken or the Dragon Uppercut where you have to have full power, but it's also not a one-hit kill. Just like I was saying earlier in the run, when I was playing as Zero in that opening stage, at most, it'll take away half of a bad guy's, or a boss fight's life. I can't talk today, guys, gals. But you don't have to have full power to use it, so. So yes, the only way to get this is to have not used Zero during the main stages, and to have withheld calling on him until that point, so you could fight that boss fight. So that boss fight could land on you like a punk and banana peel your way to the Beam Saber. So in my head, this is the closest to 100%ing the game as possible. We have all the things. We got the gold armor. We got the Beam Saber. So we destroyed Vile. We did Bit and Bite in the way that they should be killed, I think. The boss fight, if you kill both Bit and Bite with their weaknesses, is much more difficult, and I don't know if it impacts anything after that, vis-a-vis Beam Saber. By then, you would have already had the gold armor, but anyway. And I wonder if you can get the Beam Saber if you didn't get the gold armor. I don't know. So I always try to avoid being too cavalier on that section. That's my least section of any of the Mega Man X trilogy. It's just a slog. I want to talk about slow elevators. I mean, those were literal snails. You all saw it. Can't deal with it. So here, let me show you the power of the saber. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Does half full damage. Yeah, you can just use it whenever the hell you want. So long as you have enough time to charge it, that's great. Oh, wait, we have the gold armor, which has the insta-charge capability. We don't even have to charge it. It's just, it's too much. It's cheese. Which I'm not going to complain about. We're buffed as hell. It's great. I do feel like I should go back and maybe do this without the gold armor sometime. See if I can still get the beam saber. All of that. That could be fun. Because again, I love being so OP'd. I don't like the gold armor. And I think the regular armor before being goldified looks pretty good. So maybe I'll do that next time I play this. I have a hard time not 100%ing this game, though. And I've said that, with the exception of X2 and the zero-part collection, I usually try to... What the fuck? So the reason it only did a little bit of damage instead of the full amount is because he ran off screen. And the damage does not... There we go. Who cares, right? We're taking a quarter damage. It's ridiculous. That said, that boss fight took much longer than it should have. But here we are. You know what? I don't even need that. You can get little life and special weapons upgrades from that, or, you know, to refill your stuff. If I stand still, my health will replenish. I don't really need my special weapons anymore, though I am going to use it for this guy. Maybe that's why they made some of these boss battles so damn easy with the special weapon. Because once you get the beam saber, you really otherwise don't need anything. So like, yeah, let's just cheese it with the gravity well. That way people will use not the beam saber. Done. Yeah, let's just do this, the hypercharge. So if you notice, I think this is a pretty cool little detail. Mega Man, while having this charge, has his little energy emanating from his body instead of absorbing it like normal when you charge a shot. I think that is meant to, what the hell, illustrate that he's overloaded with energy at this point. So yeah, the little energy balls are coming off of him instead of being absorbed. And I think that's a really cool detail. I don't think I noticed that until maybe a couple of years ago during a therapy stream. Again, this guy, I'm not going to waste my time charging anything. I'm just going to spam this. Here's a question. Do you ever think that any of the bad guys from these games, like the bosses, do you ever think they're friends? Here's where I'm going with this. Do you ever think they went to a picnic and this guy hung around Neon Tiger and started to feel like woozy, or Neon Tiger like punched him? He's like, that really hurt. That's like my weakness. Don't do that. Like, can they be friends? Do they have like a break room or quarterly meetings to discuss numbers, charts, and they just discover that they're weak to each other, like, you know, rock, paper, scissors, which is actually what Mega Man was originally based off of. And that's why he was called Rockman. Little known fact. Actually, I think that's a common known fact. What am I talking about? Yeah, let's just do this again. So I don't mind taking a little bit of damage here, since I've used that charge shot so many times. When I take damage, you'll hear like a little ooh, and that's me storing up that energy for the charge shot upgrade. If I were to choose one upgrade, I think it would either be the charge shot thing or the double dash. The double dash just opens up so many quick ways to do things. It's the defensive capability without hurting my eyes with the shield. I just like it. I think it's good. And here, let's go ahead and use the hypercharge. Oh, I can only do it if it's full power? Yep, lame. Didn't realize that. That shows you how often I utilize it. Let's take the time and just charge it up then. Okay, never mind. Oh, also this boss fight sucks during a randomizer. If he grabs you with his little pinchy claws, every time he'll hold you for a while, but every time you take damage, it switches to another game. So it takes a whole bunch of rounds to make any progress in this boss fight if he grabs you. I'm sorry, is pinchy claws the name of like? Never mind. Hold on to that. My Spanish is rusty. I'll say it that way. If Santa Claus was... Sorry. Okay, let's show you what this guy's weak to. No, those are his... No, that's the... Okay. This weapon is from, I think, Crawfish? I don't know why I think this is actually weakness. Hold on, sorry, no. Crawfish. Yeah, no, that's right. But to look at it, that doesn't really make sense, right? Like, but whatever. He's got like a little super yo-yo. Ah, lame. And then I think after this last little bit of... Yeah, we're almost done. After this stage, we'll have one little half stage at the end of this stage, and then the Sigma fights. Who have we not fought with? Was this the last guy? No, we still have to do Seahorse. Okay. And this guy is cheese enough. We're going to go ahead and... I'm going to take some damage to try to replenish my Hyper Crush. So I'm going to start calling my wife. She's my Hyper Crush. She won't get it, and that's fine. 8-bit if you're watching this. Oh, okay, sorry. I sit down way too much during the day. All right. I think I might just Google that tonight and find out, can you still get the Zero Saber if you don't have the gold armor? so many times these, like, OP weapons or whatever are dependent upon you having literally everything. So it stands to reason that would too, but they also seem disconnected enough. So maybe not. This is just your boilerplate, I'm going to get you, sucker, stuff. Now the cool thing about the Dr. Doppler fight is he has an energy replenishment shield. So if I hit him with my sword, he'll activate the shield and the remaining damage heals him. So you got to find the right there it is. You got to find the right moment to inflict that damage. And it was right after he swings by. And he's dead. He's not dead. He's maimed. He's uncomfortable. He's inconvenienced with gout. I'd love to see a photo of that gout foot. Gout's no joke, though. And now you know what the G in GP stands for. It's Gout Prime. Alright, so I think we're at the end. Oh, the dialogue at the end, there's that battle body. Psych. The dialogue at the end of that Dr. Doppler fight was him saying, yeah, I was making him this battle body that only he can interface with, and I fucked up because it's way too OP. And as you can tell in the background, there are now Sigma clones being developed. We're pretty close. Okay. To having all 4 sub-tanks. This can be a challenging couple of battles here. Sorry, I like doing this. That's just the coolest fucking way to enter a room. If I had a passageway in my ceiling, I would try to do that. I would go from the basement room to the upper room. I'd have like a trampoline, and then I would just X3 my entrance every fucking day. Alright, so this is Captain America Sigma. He'll throw the shield here in a second. Maybe. You'll see what I'm talking about. Nope, he's going to die before that. Alright, so then we have the final Sigma battle of the original X trilogy. This is pretty cool. Well done, X, but I've grown way too strong. Behold the power of the ultimate battle body. Now, fellas, ladies, don't ever say that as the opener line to sex. Or do. In my experience, it's not the best opening line. Now, if you're out there and it does something for you, kudos. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Alright, so there's this giant, absurd-looking battle body. Somehow it has the powers of all these other robots and baddies. I don't really know how or what that means. But I do know you can only do damage to his tiny little skull, just like the Sigma fight from X1. So, getting the saber timed whilst dodging all of these things is tricky. And you can't just hit him once, you gotta hit him twice. No, why do they keep turning around to throw the saber? I don't like it. And then I'm gonna hit my inhaler, there we go. Oh, god dang it. My timing's all wrong. Too low. Okay. This is fine. Okay, too low. That would have been great, except he started, flying. Okay, so that's where his stone is at. Just past the shoulder. There. So there's one. We just got to hit him one more time. Well, one more time with the sword. So as you can tell, the most difficult of the Sigma fights so far and also my least favorite. Not because it's difficult. It's not difficult. It's just precise. Here we are. It's my least favorite because it's boring. Giant battle body, we've done that before. We've seen that before. It's not even that cool looking, I'm sorry. So I would love to say the game is over, the trilogy is complete. That is not quite the case yet. And there is still plenty of ample opportunity to die. Plenty of ample opportunity? That's redundant. Now I do like this. I like that they brought back the wireframe. I don't have to fight him. He somehow summons lava. And then he tries to, and oftentimes successfully, attacks me, thrusting me into the lava. So yeah, if you don't go in, and now it's over, if you don't go into that with enough health, or if you suck at wall climbing or whatever, it's still entirely possible to lose that fight. Damn, it's a dead end. I guess it's done then, huh? Also, the profile of the wireframe is horrible. Ha ha ha, give up, X. I'll possess your body and rule the whole world. Why wasn't that the plan from the beginning? How many times do I have to kick your ass for you to want my body? That may be the sexiest thing I've ever said. Oh, you're Doppler. How did you obtain this? How do you feel now? There's some localization for you. Do you like my special vaccine for the Sigma virus? It's a shot. It's an injection. It's a protein. Sorry. I'm sorry. I've given you so much trouble, says Doppler. I never really forgive you for what I've done, or whatever. Sigma's programming is fading. I guess that's all we needed was a seppuku. You know what I mean? I think, is that the right word? Self-sacrifice? It's a redemption arc for Doppler, sure. Melancholic, mellow grooves, man. It's the dough of the X series. The Tau. X has crushed Sigma's plan once again, baby. But many questions still occupy his mind, sugar. Oh, yeah. Why must humans fight against Reploids? And why must Reploids fight against each other? Oof. We may never know, baby. As X stares at the burning remnants of Doppler's lab, his body trembles from an unknown sorrow. So is mine. A sorrow, a desire, whose name I dare not speak. What does fate have in store for me, he wonders. He can only hope that someday Sinistar will have another birthday, and we can do yet more Mega Man games, or something equally delightful. Unknown to X, his destiny has already been decided. To save mankind, he must destroy Zero. More on that in future installments, but this is where I leave you. But only time will tell when and why. So that's a nice little stinger. I do wish they would have done more of the X games on the Super Nintendo, or if somebody could figure out how to program the skins and programming from X3 into what they did with X4, do some redesigns. I don't know how any of this works. That would be great. X4 was on PlayStation. It was fun if you play as Zero. You could play the whole thing through as Zero, and that was really cool. Chain together different combinations with the Z-Saber, whatever. The Mega Man campaign on that one kind of sucked. But anyway, this has been Mega Man X1, 2, and 3. And with the final third of the phrase, the day, I can now fully say, happy birthday, Sinistar. You're my dear friend. I love you with all my heart. And thanks for asking me to play these instead of Circus Charlie. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, what's left of it, and my soul, which can barely be said to exist at all. Anyway, that's been Mega Man X1, 2, and 3. If you enjoyed what you saw, Go ahead and hit the subscribe button for Press B to cancel. I appreciate you all being here. I am Guy Prime, or Gout Prime. No, Guy Prime GP, signing off on behalf of the Retro Therapy and Press B to cancel. Until next time.